What's up, guys? It's honestly awesome here, bringing my top 4 Masked Hero deck profile. So without further ado, we're gonna go and jump into it. And while I'm explaining, we'll go ahead and talk about the matchups. So today, or not today, yesterday, I faced not three. I played 4 rounds. I only lost 1 round, and that was to Yangzing after I misplayed in time and went into the safe play of Castell instead of going to the greedy Dark Law. So, in that situation, that's my fault. Why I lost in that situation. Um, and then I beat BA. I 2-0 to BA player, 2-0 to Shadal player, and I 2-1 to Cosmo player. So, without further ado, we played 3 Elements of Hero Shadow Mist. It's your engine and core of the deck. Obviously, you play 3. You play 2 Elements of Hero Bubble Man, and you play 1 Alias. Bubble Man's more for rank 4, X, Y, Z options, and Alias is for more like a beat stick style. And one's in here, Bubble Man's in here for Acid, and Alias is in here for Koga. I played 2 Goblin D-Bird. As it's now staple, you can't run 3 or 1. You kind of have to run 2. Helps for rank 4 options and triggering Shadow Mist. You run 2 Summoner Monks. The Summoner Monks get your combos going and get your play started. And for the last actual monster in the 15-card monster lineup, we played 1 Thunder King. Thunder King just hurts everything and is really good. For hand traps, we played 2 Max C because it is a special summon ISK format. So I figured, okay, I'll play Max C and get pluses off of it. Turns out this actually gave me enough back row and resources to beat the Cosmo player during Game 3. So it's really good. And we played, instead of Breakthrough or Emptiness, we played the Effect Veilers because Effect Veiler will almost always, in every situation, win you the game because it's an out to Dinko in itself and allows you to activate traps during their turn if they Dinko you, which Phoenix Chain, Breakthrough Skill, and Chalice do not. And it also gives you advantage of when Norden's coming out next month to be able to make free Armides until we get Lightning. So, basically, it's a better Phoenix Chain Breakthrough Skill in this current format. Played for spell cards. Played 3 Reinforcement of the Armies. Self-explanatory and Search. 3 Mask Change, because it's part of your core. For 2-0s, we played 2 MST. A lot of people are straying away from this card. I personally love it. I don't think you should be blind spacing this format. I think you should be setting this as a bluff and using your lances to get rid of actual cards that are played against you. The lance is more like, okay, my play is going through and baiting. MST is like, okay, waiting for you to MST the MST so you can get the +1 off of it. And the last 2-of is I run 2 A Hero Lives because, just for the simple fact that all the other decks kind of struggle against Dark Law, and you don't want to be running multiples of this card, because if you're running multiples, you're probably going to clog your engine, and you're going to limit yourself from both your Soul Charge and Solemn Warning. I actually run Soul Charge in this deck list, so for the additional plays and comeback ability. So there's the 1 Soul Charge that I've already explained about. We played 1 Book of Moon and 1 Raigeki, and for the additional non-limited 1-ofs, I played 1 Form Change, so I can go from Anki into Acid and clear out entire back rows if the attack just resolves, and then 1 Mass Change second. Funny story with the Form Change actually won me a game where I Mass Changed an Anki on the opposing turn. This is against the Cosmo player Game 2, and then during the end phase, after I Mass Changed and after I searched for Shadow Mist, I then proceeded to activate Form Change and go into Acid and clear 4 back row. Okay, now for the trap lineup, that was a very good situation. We played the 2 Call of the Haunted. Call of the Haunted is just that 1 card that you need for the engine for speed. Even though it's kind of slow in itself, it's good on the opponent's turn, and it can also help you OTK. I OTK'd 3 times yesterday using it, and it was pretty good. For additional 2-of traps, I played 2 Mirror Force. because it's heroes, it's kind of a staple in heroes, because it's basically a mass DD prison in here. Okay. Now for the one-ofs of the deck, I played one Solemn Warning, one Vanity's Emptiness, one Compulsory Evacuation Device for my summon response. I felt like this was better than Bottomless in most situations, because against Bottomless, if they bring out, like, I'm against Burning Abyss, Bottomless is dead, and against most XYZ decks, they could just play around it by summoning 101. So, this was just a better card. And it outs the Vanity's 101 lock as well. And the last card in the deck, which was the non-limited one of, was one Trap Trick, Trap Hole, Nightmare. This card was just savage. It actually won me a game that the Cosmo player didn't realize that he could pop it with Slip Rider, and it just locked him out of the game in combination with side cards. Going on to the extra deck, we played two Master Hero Dark Laws. This is self-explanatory. It's the best card in your extra deck, and it does a lot of good things for you. It's those of you that are watching that do not know, Dark Law is actually a macrocosmos for your opponent, basically, and when they search, they banish one card out of their hand randomly. Well, you banish it, but you get the drift. We played one Elemental Hero Koga, because Koga is really good. Koga is really, really, really good as a card in general. So, this is like Cosmos can't clear it without side, like, extra deck or any card. Basically, this thing becomes a 3k beat stick when your opponent has a monster and gains 500 for every monster. So it's just stupidly good. And it's good for time and gaming people. Played one Masked Hero Acid. Acid nukes the entire back row and you gain 300. Or they lose, all their monsters lose 300 attack. So basically you're gaining 300 attack, you might as well. And it's pretty good. Self-explanatory. And then one Anki. All of these I've tested at 2 or more at one point, and I felt like they're all, like, the 5 fusion extracts pretty good at the moment, until we get Nodin to where we can actually abuse Miracle Fusion with just making Nodin. So that's good. That's gonna be the best part of it. Anki allows you to do the form change acid play on the opposing turn, which you can also do with Koga, and it allows you to do it on your turn when you're searching one from his effect if you destroy a monster. So when he destroys a monster, he adds one change quick play spell card to your hand from your deck. I did not run Diane, because Diane I felt like is not good enough in this deck, just for my second mass change target. I felt like there was better rank 4 XYZ options. As for the rest of the extra deck, the 10 XYZ monsters are in one Rhapsodian Berserk. Tellarknights, anything, it's just really generically a good card. Played one Gaga Cowboy for time and to steal games. Dweller, turn off like Graveyard, if I don't have Dark Law. Exiton, come back into the game. We run one Gaga Samurai. This card in itself is amazing over Blade Armor, because it gives you the utility to make it to where they can't actually kill Dark Law. So that's always a neat thing, and it's good for pushing for game. We played one Castell, as it's a staple in the format, bouncing back anything or flipping anything face down that you want to. We played one number 101 for our Emptiness, and just because it's good to summon into Torrential or Bottomless, because it forces them, it basically prevents them from being able to kill it. We played one Heroic Challenger Excalibur, or Heroic Champion Excalibur, just because he's out to towers, he's big, and he helps with the OTK. Played one Ragna Zero, because we play Lance in the main board, and this card is just really generically good in general, against Burning Abyss, Quill Forts, Tellarknights sometimes if they run Regal. It's just really good. And finally, we run one Kergorgon just for everything pretty much. This card retargets stuff, and it's really good because you can change targets, and that's actually how I ended up winning against the Cosmo player, is because he was drawing traps, and I just kept changing the target to 101. I changed both of his Fiendish Change to my face at 101, which is kind of funny. And finally, we played one for going into the side deck. I played one Grand Mole. Actually, in the side deck, I'm missing 2 cards, but I substituted them out yesterday, so I'll let you know when we get to them. Played one Grand Mole. This card is really good. Won me game 2 against the only match I lost against the Yang Zing player, because it can clear away his synchros without him being able to do anything. We played 2 Cycle Reader. This would normally be Defusion, but at the time I did not have Defusions, so I felt like Cycle Reader was an okay replacement. Even though the worst matchup is actually Dolls, this deck actually has a favored good matchup against them, because they only have one way to out it, and if they don't get their, actually they have 2 ways to out it, and if they don't see either, they kind of just lose the game. 1 Mind Control for the Doll matchup and anything that runs 4s. We played 3 Spell Shattering Arrows. Spell Shattering Arrow is just an amazing overall card. Good for the sometimes matchups, but in general you want to be using this card against, obviously, the Pendulum decks. For trap cards, we went ahead and went with a decision to play the best card currently in the game. I'm just kidding. The best Floodgate, anyway, because it's so generic, was 2 in the Van Played On. This card completely and instantly just pretty much whiteboards, not whiteboards, but prevented boards from being set up. Because if you don't know what it does, your opponent cannot explicitly summon monsters of the same rank they control, and they cannot special summon monsters of the same rank they control. So against a tour guide, you flip it, or if they're going for an extra monster, a BA, that you can make them waste effect. Against Tellers, they have to reveal their hand if they go for Vega. And against Necros, if they go for Kaleidoscope with a Manju on board trying to summon Unicorn to out you, you can just go ahead and be like, okay, no, let me see your extra deck in hand. So it gives you additional knowledge in the game. We played 2 Mind Crush, combined with one other, pretty much our entire sideboard. Gives you hand knowledge, and that's really good going into time. And going into game 2 and 3 as well. We played 2 Light Imprisoning Mare, just for Tellers and Cosmos. Cosmos more, because Tellers you can deal with pretty easily. Excuse me. We played this just because it prevents all their effects from going off. We played 1 of the Crush Card Virus. I'm thinking about changing a slot. I never saw it, and I actually bricked it, so when I sided it. So, I saw it, but I bricked it, so it doesn't even matter. This card is good in a sense, because, yeah, you can wipe entire boards from doing a sack of your Shadowless, but do you always want to be doing that? Not always. Last card we played was 1 Bottomless, in case we're against a matchup. Quillforts, for example, and that's just one of those cards that it puts in work every time. So that has been the Masked Hero Decklist, guys. I guess I can go through how the rounds went for my matchups. This is the point where if you don't want to listen to that and you just want to click off, I'll go ahead and click off here if you're just trying to deck the list. Otherwise, here we go. What was it? My round 1 opponent was Shadalls. Game 1, I opened Darklaw. He couldn't really do anything to it. So, he said he opened bad. That's whatever. Game 2. In Game 2, I went ahead and was against I was still against him, and he went for the Seraphdol player Thunder King, not knowing Deltaros can be negated by Thunder King because it negates the summon, and it's not responding to the summon. It doesn't activate after it's successfully summoned. That's what I'm trying to say. So that pretty much won me the game there. Going into my round 2 opponent was Burning Abyss. Game 1, I just grinded his resources out, kept them under Dweller, and Castelled them when he went or Soul Charge Castelled when he went to do something. And game 2 went pretty much the same way until I hit Darklaw on board, and then I played in the band played on, and then he just couldn't do anything to it. That combined with compulsing an engineer that he was trying to stall on pretty much just ended the game there. Going into round 3, my only loss was to Yang Zing. Game 1, I lost just because that's how your game 1 goes against Yang Zing generally. Game 2, I won because Neospacing and Grand Mole, and that was pretty much it. Like, that's what won me the game was Grand Mole, and then Valoring a Black Rose when he went for it. Um, Game 3, I misplayed going to time on turn 3? No, turn 4. Instead of making Dark Law, I actually made Castell, and that cost me the game. Dark Law would have won me the game, period, hands down. So, that was pretty much it. And then obviously round 4, semis. I played against Cosmo, and I 2-1 the Cosmo player. And that was how it went. That was my matchups and everything. Yep, this deck has a really good matchup against everything, and in a fair environment, you should be able to easily win. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and you guys have a nice day. Stay tuned for the next video.